Niggas are scared of revolution. But niggas shouldn't be scared of revolution because revolution has nothing but change. And all niggas do is change. Niggas coming from work and changing them pimple clothes in the streets to make some quick change. Niggas change their hair from black to red to blind and hope like their looks will change. Niggas kill other niggas just because one didn't receive the correct change. Niggas change from men to women, from women to men. Niggas change, change, change. You hear niggas say, things are changing, things are changing. Yeah, things are changing. Nigga things into black nigga things that go through all kinds of changes. The change in the day that makes a man rave, black power, and the change that comes with them at night as they sigh and moan, ooh, white thighs, white thighs. Niggas always going through bullshit change. But when it comes for real change, niggas are scared of revolution.
I was the third brother of five, doing whatever I had to do to survive. I'm not saying what I did was all right. Trying to break out of the ghetto was a day-to-day fight. Being down so long, getting up didn't cross my mind. But I knew there was a better way of life, and I was just trying to find. You don't know what you do till you put under pressure. Across 110th Street is a hell of a tester. Across 110th Street, you can find it all in the street. I got one more thing I'd like to talk to you about right now. Hey brother, there's a better way out. Snorting that coke, shooting that dope, man, you're copping out. Take my advice, it's either live or die. You got to be strong if you want to survive. The family on the upper side of town will catch hell without a ghetto around. In every city you'll find the same thing going down. Harlem is the capital of every ghetto town. Let me sing it. Across 110th Street, wishes won't let the junkie go free. Oh, across 110th Street, a woman trying to catch a trick on the street. Ooh, baby, across 110th Street, you can find it all. In the street, yes you can. Oh, look around you, look around you, look around you, look around you. Yeah.
You don't have a revolution desegregating the toilet. You don't have a revolution desegregating the lunch counter. You don't have a revolution desegregating the theater. There's no such thing as a peaceful revolution. There's no such thing as a bloodless revolution. There's no such thing as a non-violent revolution. Why, if you're not ready to get violent, get that word revolution out of your dictionary. A head for a head and a life for a life. Let the white man know that you are tired of seeing your children murdered.
Black is you, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is me, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is us, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is free, black is me, black is us, black is free. Black is you, black is...
At that time, we were young and we didn't really know how much power we had, and we really didn't understand, what all the gadoo was about. But now, as you know, as I look back, and I begin to see how we influence young people now, I realize that we had a lot of power. But we went into power at the time. We were revolutionary. We thought we wanted to change things with our words, with our actions.
Listen, listen, listen. Listen. Niggas are actors. Ooh, niggas are actors. Niggas act like they're in a hurry to catch the first act of the Great White Hope. Niggas try to act like Malcolm did, but when the white man doesn't react toward them like he did Malcolm, niggas won't act violently. Niggas act so cool and slick, causing white people to say, what makes them niggas act like that? Niggas act like you ain't never seen nobody act before. But when it comes to acting out for revolutionary causes, niggas say, I can't dig them actions. Niggas are scared of revolution.
How that poem came about was one day we were sitting in Mount Morris Park over there where the poets first got together, me and Dune asked me, you know, he said, well, Ma, he said, like, what have you learned since you've been in Harlem? I just looked around for a minute. I saw everybody into a little different attitudes and personalities and going about their little different business. I just said, niggas are scared of revolution. So he said, write that down, man. So next thing you know, there was a rock in Mount Morris Park where I went and sit on, and I just started writing the poem. And this thing, you know, it became somewhat of a classic. But yeah, sometimes it offended a lot of people, but then there was so much truth in the poem, people got past the offensiveness of the poem and got into the truth because there was a lot of truth in the poem.
Niggas are players, ooh, niggas are players. Niggas play football, baseball, and basketball while the white man is cutting off their bars. When the niggas play ain't tight enough to play with some black thighs, niggas play with white thighs as if they still have some play left. And when ain't no white thighs to play with, niggas play with themselves. Niggas will tell you that when they should be liberated, but when you say let's go take our liberation, niggas reply, oh, I was just playing. Niggas are playing with revolution and losing. Niggas are scared of revolution.
I really felt that poetry was a punk thing at that time. I wanted a hands-on somebody's throat or on a trigger. I wanted to do something that would quicken this, would be a catalyst for this revolution to get started. So we took off the Watkins brothers, and me and a friend of mine named Alexander Young, and when we robbed and they had, I mean, these were people who were Klan members, and I knew they were Klan members because of a white kid who had worked for them who had told me about this. So, told me who they were. So I thought it was a great coup to rob from the Klan and give to my brothers to get out of jail. It ended up where things got kind of botched up because there was a manhunt for about 6 hours, and they picked us out of a lineup. They brought us, they arrested us on the campus and brought us to the precinct, and they picked us out of a lineup. And I got 12 to 20 years in penitentiary after a trial and so forth and so on, of which I did 3 years and 9 months. But the irony of the whole thing was here I am, sitting in Central Prison in 1970, the album comes out, I'm in the joint, guys are coming in prison, telling me about this great group called The Last Poets, and I can't even tell them that they listening to me. So that was the period, that was the pain, more or less. But at the same time, I was smart enough not to blab off that I was one of the last poets, because I think I'd probably still be in prison or be dead.
Okay, I'm Kim Green, and I am a freelance journalist, as well as I just finished the book with The Last Poets called On a Mission.
Brought here in chains, living in pain, today is the same and nothing ever changes. Hung by a noose, can't tell the truth, filled with abuse, and everywhere there's danger. How long can this go on? When will the light I see? I know I must be strong to last through this journey, to last through this journey.
Now see, interesting, as the person who just wrote this book, I have to regard these as poems, not songs, because we want to bring a literary end to them, because I think The Last Poets are poets. And that's why the book was such an important thing for me, because it was a chance to get that poetry out there as poetry without beats. And I would think, you know, Niggers Are Scared of Revolution, to me, obviously, is just a classic poem.
In Harlem in the 70s, there was a group of Panthers who had a headquarters right down here on 7th Avenue, and they dug us, and we dug them. They would come to our loft and see our shows. We're talking about Silas Shakur, Drew bin Wahab, we're talking about Zay Malik Shakur, and we're talking about Afeni Shakur, Tupac's mother. She used to come see us. I know Afeni very well. Matter of fact, when she was incarcerated and defending herself during the Panther 21 trial, I went down to the courtroom one day and saw her defend herself. She defended herself. As a matter of fact, the judge thought she was so brilliant. He told her one day, he said, you know, if you want such a rabid, you know, anti-system, you know, white-hating person, he said, you could be a brilliant trial attorney. But Finney went through a lot because, I mean, during that time, she was going through a lot. She had been in battles with police, and so I guess all that kind of affected Tupac too when he was a child, because he was born in jail. So, you know, people always wonder why Tupac, you know, was the way he was, but there was a lot Tupac had to work through, you know.
When I was pregnant in jail, I thought I was going to have a baby and the baby would never be with me, but I was acquitted a month and 3 days before Tupac was born. I was real happy because I had a son.
When I was young, me and my mama had beef, 17 years old, kicked out on the streets. Though back at the time, I never thought I'd see her face. Ain't a woman alive that could take my mama's place. Suspended from school, I'm scared to go home. I was a fool with the big boys breaking all the rules. Shed tears with my baby sister. Over the years, we was poor than other little kids. And even though we had different daddies, the same drama when things went wrong, we blame mama. I reminisce on the stress I caused. It was hell, hugging on my mama from a jail cell. And who thinking elementary? Hey, I see the penitentiary one day. Running from the police, that's right. Mama catch me, put a whooping to my backside. And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama. I finally understand for a woman it ain't easy trying to raise a man. You always was committed, a poor single mother on welfare. Tell me how you did it, there's no way I can pay you back. But the plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
Dear mama,
place no one above you,
you all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you?
Now ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy cause the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry, cause my anger wouldn't let me feel for a stranger. They say I'm wrong and I'm heartless, but all along I was looking for a father, he was gone. I hung around with the thugs, and even though they sold drugs, they showed a young brother love. I moved out and started really hanging. I needed money of my own, so I started slanging. I ain't guilty cause even though I sell rocks, it feels good putting money in your mailbox. I love paying rent when the rent's due. I hope you got the diamond necklace that I sent to you. And there's no way I can pay you back, but my plan is to show you that I understand. You all appreciate it.
Don't you know we love you, sweet
And dear mama,
place no one above you,
you all appreciate it.
I'm sure between Umar and myself, we come up with about a good 6 or 7 dozen brothers and sisters who were victims of a failed revolution. Because we were so gung-ho about changing things, we just knew that now was gonna be different. I mean, you could not tell us back in the 60s that to 96, we were gonna still be protesting and trying to get equal rights and being treated like respectable people, right? And be shot down the street like dogs. We didn't have no, that was, man, you couldn't tell us that cops would be able to do what they're doing to us like they've been doing, and they're escalating their activities. I mean, all over the place. You couldn't tell me that this was gonna happen. I mean, this is so far away from what I thought reality would be until but what it does, it makes our work that much more important.
We are the ones who gave the spoken word a market. People can see that the spoken word sells. So Next thing you know, after us, there was just a little twist came, the Sugar Hill Gang from out here out of Harlem. And after Sugar Hill Gang came Run DMC, and then Public Enemy, and on from that. Yeah, but we could say we were the forerunners or the progenitors of the whole rap thing, yeah.
Grenades in their eyes, and death is their prize. Peace will arise, destroy the lies. There are bombs standing on the corners of the cities, waiting to explode at the slightest touch. Baggy shadow street boys stand cocked, ready to fire. Their eyes are grenades, and the pin is about to be pulled. Boom! The brother went off. Pressure pulled the trigger, and the brother became a nigger, and no one could figure out how it happened. What went wrong? Grenades in their eyes, and death is their prize. Peace will arise, destroy the lies.
Yeah, Black Rage. Tupac represented that, as well as a lot of our rappers. It comes out in cartoon fashions when you don't have a movement. And that's basically one of the things that I'm saying, because you see, these kids are the same kids that I was and that Umar was. I mean, those are the same people, except that we were saved by a movement in many ways. We could focus and channel our rage. There is not one kid that's killed somebody or thinking about it as we speak that has any more intensity or rage than we had.
He became G.I. Joe, killing his family, not the enemy. A human gun, made and manufactured in the United Snakes of America. There are bombs standing on the corners of the cities, waiting to explode at the slightest touch. Baggy shadows.
No, not every rapper is a poet. And some rappers are really just like crackerjack box prizes, as far as I'm concerned, little toys. And they don't really adhere to any of the metaphors or the poetic skills. They're just trying to rhyme and say something that's kind of gimmickry and loud, and they have all kinds of little innuendos, but I couldn't say all that stuff is poetic, no. And I would not give it that poetic credence. But that's one of the reasons why I opened up my house have this open house on Sunday, so that we can get to what the essence of poetry is all about. Whether you write poetry or rap, there is a poetic device that should be used in both, in either, of course in poetry, but in rap, poetry still is the strongest language to really get to your psyche. Because if I just say some old bullshit, you know, that sounds slick at the time, but doesn't have any poetic essence, it doesn't mean much, and it's about like bubble gum. You know, you chew it, sweetness goes, you throw it out. But poetry lasts forever. That's why one of the greatest raps ever done was done by Melly Mel, because of the poetry involved. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. Still very important today. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes you
wonder how I keep from going under.
That will never die. The poetry in that is great, and then the circumstances make the poetry real.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you'll go through. You'll grow in the ghetto, living second rate, and your eyes will sing a song of deep hate. The places you play and where you stay looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the number book takers. beggars, thugs, pimps, and pushers, and the big money makers. Driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you wanna grow up to be just like them. Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers, pickpocket peddlers, even panhandlers. You say I'm cool, I'm no fool, but then you wind up dropping out of high school. Now you're unemployed, all non-void, walking around like your pretty boy Floyd. Turned stick-up kid, but look what you done did. Got sent up for an 8-year bid. Now your manhood is took and you're a make tag. Spend the next 2 years as an undercover fag, being used and abused to serve like hell. Till one day you was found hung dead in the cell. It was plain to see that your life was lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth. But now your eyes sing the sad, sad song of how you live so fast and die so young. So don't.
When Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 released The Message, and that was something that was phenomenal. I mean, we hadn't heard this type of statement in rap music before. He was basically talking about the ghetto. He was talking about where people came from. You know, I mean, you could dance to it, but you could also listen to these lyrics and say, you know, to me at the time, it was the equivalent of when Marvin Gaye did What's Going On. Everybody knew Marvin Gaye for being, being a regular soul singer and doing 3-minute records that they could dance to at a party and flip off. He created What's Going On, and all of a sudden people, oh my God, you sit down and you listen to this. This is a reflection of where we're coming from.
Oh, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Right now. Right on.
And Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 with The Message made the same kind of commentary. It made it more interesting to us because we felt like he was talking about us. And I don't think, I mean, the people I hung out with, we didn't think, you know, oh, this is going to be so great because now people in Europe are going to know we exist. It was almost like a self-acknowledgement. We knew we existed, you know, and now someone is saying that we exist. It eventually became the voice of Black America when people decided that it could be more than dance music, when it could be social commentary, when it could be a reflection of what was going on around them, you know, and then it became something else.
The rap started in New York, but then when we moved out to the West Coast, you know, in Compton and South Central and, you know, places like that where they were so-called original OGs, they took it a step level into the gangster rap thing. So, you know, we're going to describe what's really going on in the hood as far as gangsters, as far as the violence, as far as killing each other, and why we're killing each other, and why it has to be done sometime, and why I have to kill you. You know, so they took it to this whole another genre of a violent, you know, gangster of you know, don't fuck with me, if you do, I'll kill you thing. And like, boom, you know, it's made a lot of money, but then too, it's done a lot of harm because people have listened to that and people have been influenced by that. I mean, you know, so it's I say it's a big business, but also it's done a little bit of harm too to the Black community.
Girls, come on, girls, come on, girls, come on, get your clothes off and the fun on, girls, come on, girls, come on, girls, come on, get your clothes off and the fun on. It's time to check cash. Jump in my phone, hit the switch and lay the ad. Why the Klan tried to kill me, but I wrote right on my motherfucking Will G. So when I'm gone, it's on. Caps going off on the streets like popcorn, talking about the siren till the early morn. Word is born, yeah. But now I just cool. bumping my gangstar tape by my pool. I ain't new to this. I ain't new to this, fool. I ain't new to this. New to this. I ain't new to this. Pop, 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 pop.
How could somebody tell me, well, Ice-T, you shouldn't live in the hills, when I mean Bon Jovi and them got mega mansions. I go out with Guns N' Roses, they make $1.5 million a show. And I'm black, I can't have a fucking house. I've been making records 14 years, been in 7 movies. I should live in a single apartment in the ghetto for what? You know, it's ridiculous. It's racist. That's what they're doing when they're saying that. They're saying the Indians should stay on the reservation. That's bullshit. I'm not from the ghetto. I'm from Earth. And I can live anywhere I want to. The ghetto isn't a black community, it's a poor community. And I'm trying to get my friends out of there.
Ice-T 6, return to the real. Real is a word people don't really want to deal with. Real is the difference between the way things should be and the way things are.
Main thing I try to do with the kids is just let them know, man, yo, I made it, you can make it. I'm no different than you. I'm not some genius. You can do it. You know, people come at me and they say, well, Ice-T, you know, you got a house in the hill or whatever. I'm not doing any justice to the kids that look up to me by being broke. It doesn't make them, they're gonna look at somebody, they wanna see success. They want a house, they want a pool. So when they can see I did it with my hat turned backwards and been saying what's on my mind, it inspires them.
New to this, I ain't new to this. New to this, I ain't new to this. Fool, new to this, I ain't new to this. That's my talking mess, you'll catch a left and a right. This!
I'm a hustler. So once I decided to get off the streets, when people say hustler, that doesn't necessarily mean you do one thing. If you was a criminal, you might sell dope, you might rob this guy, you might be pimping, you might be, you hustle. Whatever, you read the book, a hustler makes whatever he can get, whenever he can. But once I decided I wasn't gonna break the law anymore because I don't wanna go to jail, and I also became aware that I was hurting people, I said, I'm gonna get into this game, show business. But I do it like a hustler. It's like everything.
New to this, I ain't new to this. Never been new to this. New to this, I ain't new to this. Fool, new to this.
The lingo and dialect I use is made to rap to somebody just like myself. I mean, I can quote entire verses out of my new album that ain't nobody white understand what the fuck I'm saying. They wouldn't understand, you know, what I'm saying when I say, like on Force to Do Dirt, when I say I got no love for a lame, I use my strategy and crack the rap. Now instead of cookies and keys, I flip $1 million boulders, call them whack MCs. When I say I got 2 T's in my on the table and 2 in my palm. And if I pull a nickel 25 strapped in, the place gets flat and I'm out the back with my niggas in them foes on things. It's like, I'm not talking to a white square individual at this point. I'm talking to dudes that talk the lingo. White kids like it, but it's not like I make records that are, I don't sound like Brian Gumble on my record. Hey, listen, I want you to understand. I don't give a fuck.
Woke up the other morning, I heard a rumor. They said the gang wars was over. I told them they was straight tripping. They said it's real as hell. Can't explain the way I felt. Too many years I seen my brothers die. And I can't say that it was really that fly, but I used to gang bang when I was younger. So it's really hard to tell a kid that he's going under. I never thought I'd live to see us chill. Crips and Bloods holding hands, admit it's ill. But I love it, I can't help it. Too much depth on the streets and we dealt it. Van Ness boys, the Hoovers, the 60, bounty hunters, 8 trades, all cooling out, G. I pray that this'll never stop. You used to see the wrong colors in the gats when pop, but now the kids got a chance to live. And the OG's got something to give. That's love, black on black, that's how they made it. And if any buses flip, they get faded. LA is where I'm speaking of. Peace to all the gangsters.
cause I got a lot of love.
Cause I remember nights when they was on rules with Uzi waiting for
Got a
now
lot of love.
you can walk, you can
go anywhere.
Walk, you can go anywhere now.
Has any of y'all had any relatives
Me, my cousin got killed.
I'm talking about giving our streets back to our mothers and our kids so they could chill, so they could live, so they could play in the playground, so they ain't gotta be worrying about no bullets
I got a lot of love cause you're all my brothers. Red or blue, black's the color. We got a chance so we can really sweat the real fools. Show those punk suckers the real tools. Check the enemy, it ain't the family. Not 111, try LAPD. They gotta understand you beat on a black man, there's gonna be drama. Know what I'm saying?
Gangster rap, so to speak. They rap about life, they rap about how you live. And it's easier for people to grab onto that. When Tupac starts rapping and saying how he's living and he's drinking and he's doing this, and the kids are like, yeah, it's reality-based rap, that's all it is.
I should die before I wait. Please, God, walk me. Grab a nigga and take me to heaven. Back in elementary, I thrived on misery. Left me alone, I grew up amongst a dying breed. Inside my mind, couldn't find a place to rest until I got that thug like tatted on my chest. Tell me, can you feel me? I'm not living in the past, you wanna last. Be the first to blast. Remember Cato, no longer with us, see the seats. Call on the sirens, seen them murdered in the streets. Now rest in peace. Is there heaven for a G? Remember me, so many homies in the cemetery shed so many tears. I suffered through the years and shed so many tears.
Tupac wasn't supposed to be no thug because his mother wasn't a thug. His mother was a warrior. She was an African queen warrior. She fought for justice and righteousness and against oppression. Tupac, but then, like I said, in the later years, she fell down. She went through some things. She had a drug thing, you know, but then too, I did too. A lot of us who came out of that period got hooked up on a drug thing when it came through. But Tupac was supposed to be a prince. Man, he was supposed to be no thug. Like now, sometimes you can see that contradiction in Tupac if you looked at him good. There was that sadness in his face. Sometimes you call him at the right moment, it looked like, you know, this is not what I really want to do. I want to be out here in this thug life. I don't want to be out here in the street life. And he was trying to break through this in the end, I think. In the end, he was trying to really grow. He was trying to grow. And I think people knew he was trying to grow because he was moving in some directions that maybe some people didn't like. Because there's this initiative out in California that was about to ban affirmative action and all the, you know, the colleges and the workplaces, you know, that's going to take away rights of women and blacks and other minorities to be on equal footing with the white populace. So Death Row Records had given a rally to get some votes to try to, you know, get some voters into the booths to you know, vote this in place. And so Tupac is standing at the, I mean, when I saw this after he died, Tupac is standing at the podium, and he said, listen, I've sold 6 million albums, Snoop Doggy Dogg has sold 3, and Hammer has sold 3 or 4, that's like maybe 12 million votes. So see, now he's talking about power. He ain't talking about being a thug no more or doing this to women. He's talking about some power here, some real power. And those in power probably saw that, and you know, they probably like set him up and had him killed because he was trying to move in a direction where, and he had a voice. Young kids listened to him, and everybody knows that the 18 to like 25 black populists don't vote. So here, this man's talking about bringing a whole nother voting populace into the arena now that could have some power. Whew, you know, next thing you know, Tupac is dead.
Lord, I lost so many pigs and shed so many tears. Now that I'm struggling in this business.
Too many families that's been affected by wrongful death. This system and this country has tore apart my family and our families. You can't have a black family and be together. How many more funerals do we gotta go to? How many more scenes of the crime do we gotta watch them chalk out black figures on the concrete before we realize that the only way for us to ever get out of this predicament is to struggle to survive? If we want to change, we gotta fight for it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to us. We just gonna have to take it.
Yeah. Holla if you hear me. Here we go, turn it up, let's start. From block to block, we're snatching hearts and jacking marks. And the punk police can't fake me a minute. We can have peace someday, G. But right now I got my mind set up. Looking down the barrel, I'm nah, get up. Cause it's time to make the payback fat. To my brothers on the block, better stay strapped. Black and accept no substitutes. I bring truth to the youth, tear the roof of the whole school. Oh no, I won't turn the other cheek. In case you can't see us while we burn the other week. Now we got them in the smash, blast. How long will it last? To the pro get more cash. Until then, raise up till my young black males blaze up. Like some S, don't stress, test. I'm giving, but be thankful that you're living blessed. Much love to my brothers in the pen. See you when I free you, if not when they shove me in. Once again, it's an all-out strap. Keep your hands in your gap, now your boys watch your back. Cause in the alleys out in Cali, I'ma tell ya, mess with the best and the best could help you. Scream if you feel me, see it clearly, you're too near me. Holla if you hear me.
Tupac Shakur, a gangster rap musician, was gunned down in Las Vegas, our most glittering city, our city of our gambling, the city of millions in the streets, gunned down like a common criminal outside of a world championship fight in the streets. This has captured the public imagination. He was a very bright young man. However, he could not discern the difference between the role he was playing in his music and his life in reality. He got caught up in the role of the gangster they sung about and being to living that in his daily life. This is the crucial error that many of these gangster rap musicians have made. They are, in American culture, we're in an unprecedented moment. This is completely unique in the history of our culture. Because America, of course, as you know, is a place that prides itself on conferring opportunity. One comes to America with nothing, one ends up rich. That's the propaganda of the ideology of the country. These rap musicians, many of them, are unprecedented in the history of our culture. There are people who started out poor and who became rich, but still live as poor people do, in the areas that poor people live in, practicing the kinds of pathologies that these people practice. Many of them are still in street gangs. They sing about, a lot of them, about killing. They do all kinds of things that you would expect of people who were poor. You see? And now why is that? That is because their art has trapped them. They have not learned to command their art. They think that their artistic power lies in poverty and despair and the things that are around that. And they counteract that with conspicuous consumption. Tupac Shakur's boss, and you know his record company was called Death Row Records. Think of the symbolism of that, to found a record company called Death Row Records. The chief officer of Death Row Records has 35 cars and maybe a dozen houses. That is very conspicuous consumption.
Yeah, what's up? Dre. Yo, Pop. What's up, man? What's going on?
Yo, I just had the crazy dream. We was doing some Mad Max Thunderdome type madness.
Should have been dreaming about this party I'm having tonight. What's up? I know you coming through.
Yeah. What you got?
Nothing but California love, baby.
What?
It's all good.
Meet me at the concert swap meet. I gotta get some gifts. Just meet me at the swap meet. I'll see you then.
I gotta take care of something real quick, man. I'll meet you up there.
All right.
California knows how to party.
You see, we're in America again, so you have to remember that the structure wants us to want material things, wants us to want money, wants us to want power, wants us to want all these things that aren't even really a part of our cultural origin. Like, those things aren't that important. But being, as an African, I think as being an African American, the American side is what makes you materialistic and greedy and, you know what I mean? So when he had the choice of loving his community, that came from his heart. I mean, that's where some of the lyrics came from and some of the closeness to his mother. I mean, no matter how wild and crazy Tupac was, he was always really connected to his mother. No one looks at that. I mean, sociologically, look at that. Here's this thug gangster rapper, but he would have songs dedicated to his mother. You know, I mean, he came from somewhere. But it went, you know, the money and the fame and the success wins, because in this country, that's what the goal is.
Nobody ever said life was gonna be easy. But damn.
That's not the way it's supposed to be. But I must stand. I was born this way. I am a black man.
Just a kid, mom's died when I was 7, pops died 11. What's up with heaven? It's hell when you're an orphan at an early age. It's an impressionable stage. No love breeds rage in the heart of a child who never knew his roots. Looked up the pimps and the hustlers in the eel-skin boots, parking caddies on the sidewalk, gangster talk, trucking diamonds and gold, rubber bands around the bank rolls. Fly girls to make your head spin. Seemed they partied all day long. I was like, put me on, but they said, little fella, run and go play. Take your butt to school or else you'll have to be like us one day. I didn't understand, but I tried to get a job while all the players got the girls, cause they'd hustle and rob. I was like making about $150 a week. And after taxes, you know what that is, lunch meat. Man, I know I can do better than this. I gotta get me a car, man. I gotta get a girl. I know I can do it out there, man. I'm finna go for it, man. I gotta get some money. Word. Streets of anger, trouble and crime. I had it hard, had to sleep in my car sometime. But I never let another player see me down. I kept my front up, my gear clean, even when checking minor green. Brothers knew my game was true, so I hooked up with the real crew that knew exactly what to do. Bank jobs and jewels, quick to flex with tools. Pimping on the block, checking cash non-stop. Crack spots, armor with interior bars. No lie, I used to own about 15 cars. Every piece Fila made, trade my women in suede. Pave, PJs, Caesar's Palace holidays. It was on, crazy, out of control. We made up the word ballin', that was how we rolled. But the FBI had a whole nother idea. It's called multiple indictments for hundreds of years. What? Daff is dead. Carter got 25 years. Nah. Spike 35 to life. Nah, don't tell me B.O.'s dead, man. I don't want to hear that, man. I was just with him. The game is vicious, no retirement. You die young, listen to a fake. He might tell you to grab a gun. I get phone calls from Condemned Row. Brothers I ran with, brothers I really know. They tell me, Ice, you got much love in the pen. You're the one that got away, don't wanna see you in. They tell me, tell the little homies the deal. Don't have them come up in this hellish habitat of shanks and steels. I marched 2 million strong in D.C., looking eye to eye with brothers that I used to think below me. Damn, my mind was twisted in my hustling days, but God spared me. I got a baby son to raise, and being black ain't easy. Prejudice is real, but health and liberty is all we need for us to build. We gotta come together unseparated. Check yourself like I did, black man, because we're all related.
There's no such thing as class amongst black people. We think there is because certain of us speak a certain way or been certain places we've traveled, but there's no such thing as that, because no matter how educated I am, no matter how much money I have, no matter how many languages I speak, I still can't get a taxi. So to the rest of America, I'm still perceived as the person uptown that is not educated.
I'm probably one of the most successful, well, not without question, I'm one of the most successful journalists in this country. There's no question about that. Yet when I walk down the street, certain streets, I'm a black man. People fear me, they cross the street, they run away, they expect crime from me. Now imagine growing up as a black boy in this culture, maybe having nothing, or maybe having something, maybe having everything, and walking down the street and seeing people cower from you and be fearful of you. Imagine what a narcotic that must be for a young man. Power is a narcotic. So, for a young black man in this culture, there's the biggest challenge to fight that impression people have of you, to not give in to that narcotic. In addition to them thinking of you as potentially violent and romanticizing that, they think of you as stupid, because that's bred into the culture too. It's changing somewhat, but it's a constant battle to thwart those impressions that come at you and try to shape your mind. For him, he was particularly predisposed to a lot of things. Tupac was predisposed to violence, probably, because his mother romanticized it as a former Black Panther. And by the way, let me just say that the Black Panthers in the 1960s were a direct result. Their popularity was a direct result of the thing I just explained to you. This romance with violence, this romance with the view of black people as primitive and angry all the time. That's a cultural trope, you know, a cultural icon for us.
Yeah, you got the live squad in this motherfucker.
You know, he told me once when I interviewed him, he said, you know, when I walk down the street and a woman grabs their purse because she's scared I'm going to take it, he said, you know, I'm going to start snatching those purses because that's what they've created from me. You know, that's the stereotype they've created. They don't even know me, but the minute they see I'm a young black man with a watch on, they think I'm a thug and I'm going to take their bag. So, you know, I'm going to just start snatching bags because that's what's been set up for me. And I loved that when he said that to me. I thought it was a very interesting idea because when you aspire to be what people create for you, and that's the box that we're all put into. And sometimes the rage will take you over.
I be on smooth. I think I ain't want none. I been drinking. Where you at? No. Where you at?
We're almost there. Come on, get that line up. Get that line up. Here. All right, stop CPR. Everybody clear? We have asystole on the monitor. Somebody take the pulse. Get to the hospital. Get that line going. All right. Go on CPR. Come on, you know the line. Need him now. Come on, he's going down. Can't believe this. Come on. No, come on. You can't have this. Come on. You can call him and tell him that the patient's DOA. He's gone. Copy.
Man, I've been struggling trying to get in here a long time. You're gonna have to earn your way. Sure hope you can make it.
I'm gonna try. Thanks a lot.
Change. Everybody changes. That's all a part of growing up. As long as when you change for the better, I really don't think nobody could be mad at you. At least, I ain't mad at you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. Check out the story. Now we was once two brothers of the same kind, quick to approach a ghetto cutie with the same line. You was just a little smaller, but you still roll. Got stretched to YA, hit the hood swole. Remember when you had a Jerry curl, never quite learned. Drinking 90 proof on the roof, tripping off Sherm. Collect calls to the tilt, singing how you changed. Or you a Muslim now. No more dope games. I just got the phone call, heard you got bail. Wanna go to the mosque, no time for females. I'm losing touch with my homie, he's a changed man. He hit the pen and now no sinning is the game plan. When I say I'm living large, all you see is the struggle. When I say I'm still thugging, all you see is the trouble. Congratulations on the wedding. I hope your wife know she got a player for life, and everybody miss you. I know we grew apart, you probably don't remember. I used to think for your sister, but never did get with her. And I can see us after school, we bombed on the first player haters with the wrong set on. Now the whole thing's changed, cause we don't even kick it. Got a big money scheme, and you ain't even with it. Knew in my heart you was the same young brother that when it's time for woe, go toe to toe and watch your brother's back. I can't even lie, cause I ain't laughing at you. You trying hard to maintain, but go ahead, cause I ain't mad at you.
He's almost been like canonized like James Dean. He's like the James Dean of the black community. You know, he's that real sad, tragic figure who had all this talent but died at such an early age, such a sad, tragic early age.
You're trapped.
I mean, I think the last poets are great because they dare to criticize black people, and they dare to not front, as it were, you know, not go with the illusions of things, but really talk about it the way it is. I mean, they are the true keep it real poets, you know, because they say to black people, you have a part in this. You need to be responsible for yourself. And that is something that very few rappers are willing to do, but that just comes with age, wisdom, and insight. I mean, you can only be angry for so long, which is why I think the Tupac thing is such a loss, because he was angry and raging and blaming everybody else, the white people, you know, he was doing that. But I think that rage evolves. And at a certain point, when you're all tired out and tuckered out and you've cursed out everybody, all that's left is you, and you look in that mirror and you say, okay, what can I do to make it better? And that's when you become brilliant, you know, and that's when, you know, Tupac hadn't gotten there yet, but I know he would have, because the brilliance was there, but he just wasn't, he hadn't evolved yet. The last poets, obviously, they're older. They went through their bad, naughty years, you know, their thug years, jail, crack. I mean, they did that, but they evolved enough to say, okay, black people need to take responsibility for themselves. We want to write about that. We want to point out what we're doing wrong to ourselves, and that's why they're great.
My favorite poem of all the poems I've ever written, for me, is My People. Because I wrote My People during the early stages of the last poets. Could not do it because it was too mature. It was more mature than I was. This was a case of me writing a poem that I had to finally grow up into. And also, this was a case of me writing a poem that most of the people that I wanted to hear or wanted to change had to grow up into. So My People is a purely positive poem dealing with, there are a couple of little negative things, but like I've smelled your piss in my hallway, but it smells just like mine. So when I say something negative, I'm making a connection to point out that I have some negativity too, and we all do. But My People is for me still to this very day my favorite and my classic, because it clearly outlines what kind of world I want to build for my people. And at the end, I just spell it out, just like Mark or Lennon: food, clothing, and shelter free. Oh, okay. My people are black, beige, yellow, brown, and beautiful. A garden of life with a love as sweet as scuba wine. growing in muddy waters, making brown babies with pink feet and quick minds. My people warm, sometimes hot, always cool, always together, together in church, in school, in jail, in the service, in the streets of the ghettos throughout this forsaken land. My people, let's be together. Understand that we've lived together. Understand that we've died together. Understand, my brother, I've smelled your piss in my hallway, and it smells just like mine. Understand that I love your woman, my sister, and her rare beauty is reason enough for a revolution. Yes, sister, my honest sister, you are the joy of my smile. You are the reality of my dreams. You are the only sister I have, and I need you. Yes, sister, my honest sister, you are the summer of my winters, and I need you. I need you to feed the children of our race. I need you to feed the lovers of our race. I need you because you are the natural life in the living. At night, there is a moon to make the blackness be felt. I am that blackness, filling up the world with my soul, and the world knows me. You are that moon, my moon goddess, peacefully smiling down light on my black face that fills the universe. My moon, I am your sun, and I shall take this piece of light and build a world for you, my sister. Sometimes the waters are rough, and the hungry tide swallows ashore and washes away all memories of children's footsteps playing in the sand. Where is the world I promised my son? Must he push back the tide and build the world I have talked about? Am I so godly until I forget what a man is? Am I so right until there is no room for patience? My brother, oh my brother, father of a son, my brother, father of a warrior, my brother the son, my brother the warrior. Be the beginning and the end for my sister. Be the revolution for our world. Turn yourself into yourself and then on to this disordered world and arrange laughter for joy and the tears for sorrow. Turn purple pants, alligator shoes, leather jackets, brown boots, polka dot ties, silk suits. Turn mini skirts, false eyelashes, red wigs, afro wigs, blonde wigs, Easter bonnets, bell bottoms. Turn this confusion into unity so that the sun will follow our footsteps in the day, so that the moon will glow in our living rooms at night, so that food, clothing, and shelter will be free because we're born free to have the whole world as our playground, my people. Yeah, so you got the whole poem. Yeah. So. That's my favorite.
Come up